In this class of business environment and ethical practices, we'll be learning the impact of circular flow of money on business. In economics, a circular flow model is a diagram that is used to represent the monetary transactions in an economy. There are two flows present within the model, includes flow of physical things or factor of production and flow of money, what is paid for the factor. So like the giver and the receiver both are there. A circular flow model depicts the inner workings of a market system and specifies portions of the economy. The circular flow of payment is important within an economy because it first measures the national income. And this circular model actually helps to determine what all factors to consider in the calculation of the national income, and then it contributes or it helps in the actual calculation as well. The second, it provides knowledge of interdependence, like who's dependent on whom and up to what extent. And for the well-being of the economy, what all factors or the forces must be taken care of. Then it illustrates the unending nature of economic activities. It shows how in a cyclic way, both the ends complement each other, and in absence of any one of them, the entire economy won't be able to function. And it also shows injections and leakages. Injections are basically anything which is being infused to this cycle, to this flow, this circular flow of money. And leakages, any money which is which was part of the flow earlier goes out, then it is treated as a leakage because it is not there in the flow anymore. The circular flow of income follows a specific pattern, which is first demand is there. For demand to come to satisfy the demand, production is done. With production comes income, and income is spend. Income is spent, and then again, if that expenditure has been done, it goes to the factors of production, and they again demand something, which again the cycle starts right from the beginning. This circular flow is ongoing between households and firms. With the help of image, I think we'll be able to understand it in a much better way. Let's look at this figure. Households on one end and firms on other end. Households, in order to survive, they need certain goods and services, which is their demand. And demand of all the households brought together becomes the aggregate demand. For this demand to be fulfilled, they are dependent on the firms, and firms will be able to produce goods and services only when there is demand from the households. So in this way, they both are interdependent. Now, for firms, it is not possible to produce goods and services without factors of production. And where from these factors of production would come in? From the households. So firms, on the extreme left, we can see firms take factors of production from the households. And the factors of productions are land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. For these factors of production, it pays back to the households, right? And which becomes the income of the households. Now, when households are receiving the income, they'll spend it on their to buy certain goods and services, and these goods and services are to be provided by the firms. So it becomes the chain or the cycle here, that household will give factors of production and firms will give goods and services. For factors of production, the firm will pay back to the household, which becomes their income, and in lieu of goods and services from the firms, the households will be spending that income, and the amount will come back to the firms, and it becomes the entire cycle. Let's move on to the next level of this same cycle. Financial sector. The role of financial sector has to be studied here. First is savings. On the top, we are seeing leakages in the economy, and on the lower side, we are looking at the add-on for the economy. So if the households are earning money, but they are not spending the entire money, or they spending the entire disposable income, and they are saving some amount of it, then that saving part is out of the flow of money, which is which is a leakage here, because the money is not being used to buy products and goods and services. So it is a leakage. On the other hand, certain additional investments may also be seen, like the government is investing money or some private entity is coming into the picture, or in form of foreign investments. So if any additional investment is happening, then it becomes a injection for the flow, which we also call as add-on for the economy. Public sector, or the role of central government we are looking at, or like fiscal policy. With the help of fiscal policy, if the government is taking taxes, which it does, of course, because it is one of the main sources of its income. So whatever the households are paying in form of taxes becomes a leakage for the circular flow, because the amount they pay as taxes, they won't be spent, they won't be able to spend it as their disposable income. So undoubtedly, this money is also moving out of the flow or this cycle, which is a leakage. But government also spends on certain projects, especially in area of public transportation, infrastructure development, healthcare facilities, and all. So that all the spending goes to the market, and it is actually for to spend this money or to bring these sectors up. Government also requires factors of production. Suppose government is constructing a road, so in that road it would require raw material, labor, and whatnot. So these all are again factors of production which will be supplied by the household. So government will be paying them. So ultimately, the money is flowing in this cycle. So this is a add-on for the economy. Last but not the least is international flow. Trade sector we are talking about, and we are talking about primarily the international trade. So if anything is being imported into the economy, the government, the public entity, or the individual would be paying money for that. So when imports come in, money goes out, and if the money is going out, it is no more part of this normal cycle, hence it is a leakage. On the other hand, if something is being exported, the money would come in, like anybody who's buying the product will pay for that commodity, that product. So the money is coming into the economy, which again becomes the part of this circular flow, hence it is an add-on for the economy. These add-ons are synonymous to the injections which we talked about in the initial slides. Thank you.